The Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission approves sign changes and Town Council meets tonight. Details on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, June 7th, 2012. I'm Sarah Colvin. The Barnstable Horace Mann Charter School will become a part of the Barnstable school system this year. After 12 years as a charter school, the board recently voted to revert back to the public school system. The change will be effective at the end of this month. The Barnstable Horace Mann Charter School serves 4th and 5th grade students. The school committee is set to discuss this change at its June 12th meeting. The Beech Tree Alley is going through some changes. Philip Miller appeared before the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission Wednesday with a request for a minor modification relating to Adirondack chairs and fencing.
Two things. Approval of Adirondack chairs in the alley. Colors were blue, white, red, same colors as the building. And the fencing at the front of the building was approved as black, and the fencing is white. So we want to know if we can maintain the white.
The HHDC approved both the Adirondack chairs and the fence. Meanwhile, the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority wants to make sure people know where the bus station is. There's a concrete sign at the RTA Plaza at the head of Main Street, but it seems that passers-by seem to ignore the sign and often ask for directions to the station while standing right in front of it. The RTA is hoping to add a new sign to the area. They were also before the HHDC this week.
Did we, Elizabeth, did we do the lettering on that wall in black?
In black, yes.
So if it's going to stand out, it couldn't stand out any more than painting it black in that granite wall, right?
I believe they made the change from just the plain granite to the black to try to get it to stand out a little more. Yes.
Doesn't seem to work.
Apparently
Too
not.
subtle.
Yeah. I have to say, I walk up and down this corner all the time, and I can't tell you how many times people ask me where the bus station is. Almost every time. It's amusing.
Yeah. I also think the transportation center gets lost in the bus station part of it.
Okay. We've got two signs shown here. One that says Hyannis Transportation Center on a pole at the curb.
That sign is going to be removed.
Okay, and the one on the lawn. The one on the lawn, is that going to be typical of our town signs of gold lettering?
It's carved. It's a carved sign.
Carved sign with gold leaf recessed into the blue background.
Blue background.
Members of the board suggested possibly adding reflective paint to the sign to increase visibility.
Just as an idea here, how about using the light reflective paint for the white surrounding the phrase bus station?
Could do that.
Yeah. You know, like you do the curbing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. It works to brighten up that phrase bus station, and it's not something you can vandalize. And it only draws attention for people that are actually looking for the bus station.
Sure.
So that's not difficult at all.
No.
Some time ago, I had made up a series of stickers for kids' bicycles that absorb light and then radiate it, so that you don't need a light source on it all the time, or at the time that you need to see it. It glows the dark. But that's a plastic inlay, and I don't know. But if you can paint it.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a reflective vinyl material that we can put right on the face. It'll look just like it's painted.
Hey, that's great. That's great. Okay. What do you think? Do we want to modify the sign for that?
The new sign was approved. Town Council meets tonight and will begin talks on the proposed fiscal 2013 operating budget. Town Council President Fred Chirigotis says tonight's agenda is quite full.
Actually, we have the operating budget, and I want to say that the budget book itself is something like 400 pages long. The summary is, I believe, over 100 pages long. So we will be going through it with about a 50-page agenda, which is the operating budget of every department in the town of Barnstable. And we've had that budget for about a month now, so we've had the opportunity to go over, line by line with any department head, with the town manager, and with the finance director, so that we can have a good grasp on the finances of the town of Barnstable.
Chirigotis is hoping to get through all of the budget presentations and discussions tonight.
If we do not finish, we would need to have a special meeting in a week, and I know that councilors would like to, we may have to work beyond 11 o'clock, which is entirely okay with me. I mean, it's a vote of the council whether or not they wanted to do that or whether we would come back again. It can be tiring. It can be difficult when you spend 4 hours or so doing that. But we'll, hopefully we can get through it. We'll see.
In addition to the fiscal 2013 operating budget, the council also has several other items of new business to discuss, including approving a town manager contract for current acting town manager Tom Lynch. When asked if the contract item could be taken out of order, Chirigotis replied,
I would like to get that done tonight, so we would just have to see where we are and how the agenda is going. Although I would defer to the whole council, and I would ask if people would want to do that. I think that they would, because that's a pretty critical vote. We only have until the 17th, actually the 16th, to take some action. So again, if we don't get through that, we'll need to have a special meeting. I know people would like to get through the agenda and get through the work of the day. I know that the councilors have been working hard and going through the budget with, and I know that councilors have had the opportunity to go and look at the contract as proposed, and so I'm sure that whatever issues remain out there that people have to want to discuss or talk about, we'll have, they should be ready to go forward, and we can address whatever the issues are. That makes it quicker and easier to focus exactly on what the points are. And
the budget is up for discussion not only by the council, but by members of the public. They'll also have a chance to comment, as each item will be subject to a public hearing.
Each item, as it comes up, we will have the department heads will make a presentation on the budget, and and then we have a public hearing. So yes, it's not it's a fairly lengthy process to go through. I know that all the councilors are ready. I know that they've been working very diligently and hard. I know that the department heads are very hard, and staff is hard, worked at it. So, but it's a lot of work, and we have to go through this process, and it's a good process. The interesting thing is that once again the budget is balanced. There's no outside expenditures. So I think that we're doing well. There actually have been reductions in the budget in certain areas. So I expect that it should be a pretty it'll be a long night, but I think that it'll be okay.
And as for whether the council will tackle the entire fiscal 2013 operating budget tonight remains to be seen, but Chirigotis says it has happened in the past.
Something, it has happened that we've gotten through the budget in one night. And there are, if you go back to the town council has gotten through the budget in one night, and sometimes we've needed more than one night. Sometimes we've needed more than 2 nights. But I was thinking back on the days of town meeting, and the budget would be done in half an hour. So, it's amazing how, with a whole host of, the public filling the room, and people the budget would be presented, people would have studied it, they'd show up for a vote, and the vote would be taken, and everybody would leave. The process has changed, and now we go through it line by line. We go through it line by line a whole host of times, and then we go through it line by line in public again. So I think everybody's ready. I think everything should be fine. But once again, there's just a lot of items and a lot to go through.
Town Council meets tonight at 7 p.m. in the second floor hearing room at Barnstable Town Hall. You can view the meeting live on Channel 18, also online at town.barnstable.ma.us. Also on the town's website, you can find the proposed fiscal 2013 operating budget, budget summary, and agenda for tonight's meeting. Diamondback terrapins are being released back into the wild on Tuesday, June 19th. The town is hosting the first annual Diamondback Terrapin Release Day. The event takes place at the Sandy Neck Gatehouse at 5 p.m. Natural Resource Officer Amy Rado will provide a brief update of the program, and then the crowd is invited to walk down the marsh path to see the turtles released. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.